Hi guys, today in this video I'll show you how you can set up Android TV version 7.1.2 in Raspberry Pi 3. So I'll be making use of this build posted over here in XDA thread. First up, thanks to the author who posted this. So basically I'll be showing as to how you can implement this build on your Raspberry Pi 3. So for this you require a Linux system. So instead of installing a Linux on a computer, what you can actually do is you can run a live CD or run a live Linux system from a USB drive. Actually there is another way to go about this. Some people suggested the virtual box, but I tried the virtual box method of implementation as well, but there were some errors, and it is a bit a longer procedure creating shared folders and then giving permissions to the shared folders, and this is much easier. Running a live CD of a USB is much easier than running a Linux system through VirtualBox and then implementing this build. So for this you require a Linux Mint Cinnamon version. You can download either the 32-bit or the 64-bit version, whichever you want, but I suggest you to download the Linux Mint Cinnamon version instead of the Mate XFCE or the KDE. So why this version is because it has all the tools built in, ready to use. Say as in like you need to format your SD card into 4 different partitions. So you have a tool inside this Linux built-in called the gparted, with which you can actually format your SD card and create partitions. So this is much easy to use and faster to implement the build, and hence that is why I am suggesting you to use this Linux Mint Cinnamon version. So you can download the ISO from here. I will leave this download links in the description of this video. So once you get hold of the ISO file, open Rufus. I will leave the download links for Rufus also in the description of this video. Select your thumb drive from here and then select the icon over here. Click on the icon over here and then choose your Linux Mint Cinnamon version and then choose start. Select write in ISO mode and then choose OK and then OK. So this will take quite a while, and by the end of this procedure you will have a Linux bootable USB ready. So once this writing process is done, you can shut down your PC and boot it from the Linux USB. Now choose to boot from a USB and then select your USB which has the Linux Mint. From the list of available options, choose start Linux Mint 18, Cinnamon 64-bit or 32-bit according to the version which you downloaded. So first up, we need to create partitions on our SD card. To do that, click on menu, click on the search bar over here and choose gparted. On the right top corner, you see all your you can see all your storage devices. So choose your SD card. Right click over here and choose unmount. If you don't have any of these options appearing, you need to unmount your drive first. If it is by default unmounted, you'll have all these options enabled. So right now over here I just have a single partition. If you have multiple pre-existing partitions, you should right click and choose delete until it becomes a single unallocated space. So now click on the unallocated space, choose new, and the space over here against the new size, type 512 or 512 and press enter. Now your partition size will shrink, and under file system choose FAT32, label it as boot. Choose add and again click on unallocated space, new. This time this should be 1024. The file system will be ext4, label will be system. And then choose add and again unallocated space, right click, new, and this time again it will be 512. File system will be ext4, label will be cache. Add, and the remaining of the unallocated space will just be data. File system will be ext4 and label will be data, and choose add. And now click on this symbol and enter like symbol, or choose apply all operations and choose apply. So while these operations are being applied, open the terminal. Your terminal will be right here down below, and type sudo apt-get install android-tools-adb. And so this will install your adb tools. Now you can close your terminal, and once this operations are applied, choose close. Make a note of the partition's name assigned over here. We will require this for copying the boot and system images. And before doing anything, click on your first boot partition, right click and choose manage flags, choose boot LBA, and then close. So before closing the gparter tool, I once again remind you to note the partition names. In my case it is MMC BLK0P1. So in your case it could be the same or it could be different. So just make a note of your partition name. And now close your gparter tool. Open computer, and now right click on all the SD card partitions and choose mount. And now go to the folder where you have unzipped, downloaded and unzipped the Android files. So I have got my boot and system image files. Once you are into the folder, right click and choose open in terminal. Here type the following command: sudo space dd if equal to boot.img space of equal to /dev/ the name of your partition. Space bs equal to 1m, and then press enter. And again repeat the same command. Replace the boot with system and replace the partition name P1 with P2. Okay, so now this is done. Now you can unmount all the SD card partitions, eject the SD card, insert it onto the Raspberry Pi and boot it. And so now once you start your SD card, you should be able to boot into Android. So right now you won't have any Android TV features. It will be just a blank Android. So this Bluetooth share error is very common. Close this. Now click on the OK button over here down below. And then if you go into the menu, there is nothing over here. There is just the settings app and the web view app. So if you wish, you can connect it via the Wi-Fi, or you can just connect your Raspberry Pi through Ethernet. It doesn't make any difference. Now get the IP address of the Raspberry Pi from your router, and I'll show you as to what you need to do in your Linux PC. When you are checking for the IP address of your Raspberry Pi, just make sure to positively identify your Raspberry Pi. Say if you have multiple Android devices connected on your network, like your phone, tablet, and all the stuff, you will your host name will be almost same for all your Android devices. All of them will begin with Android, so you can distinguish your Raspberry Pi with a MAC address. So the Pi will have a MAC address starting with B827 and so on. So if your MAC address starts with a B827, then it is positively a Raspberry Pi. So now copy the IP address and now go back to the folder where you have the gaps downloaded. Right click and choose open in terminal. Over here type the following command: sudo nano gaps.sh. Change the IP address to match your Raspberry Pi's IP address. Press Ctrl X, choose yes, and then enter. Now type the following command to initiate the gaps transfer: chmod plus space plus x space gaps.sh space double ampersand space dot / gaps.sh. Okay, so this process will take quite a while, and during this process your Raspberry Pi will shut down and restart multiple times. So these are all the list of APKs that are being right now pushed from the Linux PC onto your Raspberry Pi. Okay, so while this happens, I tried this same implementation using VirtualBox. Until this step, everything ran smooth, and when I tried to push the apps from the Linux VirtualBox system to the Raspberry Pi, I hit a roadblock and the systems crashed. And so that is why I suggested running a Linux from a bootable USB and then implementing this Android build. So now it is rebooting again. So after this process, you have got a message that all done, and the device will reboot once again. So after you get this message, you can shut down your Linux PC, boot into the Raspberry Pi 3 and enjoy the Android build. Okay, so now let me just shut down this Linux PC and boot into the Raspberry Pi 3. So now the final reboot has taken place and the Android has booted. The process of setting up this Android which must similar to all other Android devices. Select your language, choose yes if you have another Android tablet or a phone by your side. Now this is a step to set up your Android tablet or a phone as a remote to the Raspberry Pi TV. Okay, so that is it. Now you have your Android TV, or in other words your Raspberry Pi as your Android TV. So as mentioned in the XDA post, the YouTube TV app does not work, but you can run the YouTube app inside Kodi. So that works. I was able to play a couple of movies flawlessly. So this is pretty much it. Now you can play around with this and hope you enjoyed it.